Right now, Target 8 takes you inside a network that's stealing billions of your tax dollars, money that's going straight into the pockets of illegal immigrants.
Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker found undocumented workers right here in West Michigan filing taxes and claiming fake kids for cash.
These are not your children? No?
No.
And that is not your name?
No.
And that's not your social security number? Her 2010 tax return reads like fiction, written, she says, by a Grand Rapids tax preparer. She told us through an interpreter that she herself supplied the fake name and the fake social security number, the name and number of a woman whose parents she knows.
That's a borrowed social security number.
She can't have her own social security number because she lives in the U.S. illegally. Moved here from Central America 17 years ago.
I came looking for work.
And she found it at a local factory where she makes more than 30 grand a year. But she says she has no idea how her tax preparer came up with the names of the 2 children on her 2010 federal tax return. They did not use the names of her real children, all born in the U.S.
She doesn't know how they filled it out because they took her W-2s and they never gave her a copy. Nothing.
Through an interpreter, she told Target 8 she gave her W-2s to a man she had heard about at work.
The person came to her house and said, all we need are your W-2s, you got money coming back, you're working, you've paid into these taxes, it's coming back to you, and we'll take care of it.
With a fake social security number, she was in line for an earned income tax credit of $1,700. A credit that illegal immigrants are not supposed to get. And those fake kids, they were going to bring in nearly $2,000 in child tax credits. Target 8 found a local tax preparer who helps illegal immigrants in trouble with the IRS. That preparer did not want to be identified.
I don't want it to have more enemies than the one I have. And I don't want any damage done to my properties.
This whistleblower has reported allegedly fraudulent tax preparers to the IRS, preparers who are still in business.
You report, and I don't see results. Meanwhile, the taxpayer is suffering. I mean, our money is being used. It's given to people that don't qualify for it.
It is a legal loophole that makes this even possible. Illegal immigrants are required to pay federal taxes if they make money in the U.S. But since they can't have a social security card, they must use a so-called ITIN. A federal report last year exposed the loophole that allows illegal immigrants with those ITINs to claim thousands in additional child tax credits, a total of $4 billion in 2010.
I can understand how people would be unhappy with that an illegal alien is receiving money almost in the form of welfare, for lack of a better word.
And this is leading to 2 ways to rip off the government: using phony social security numbers instead of ITINs to get those earned income tax credits, and claiming phony children to get additional child tax credits. Each can mean thousands of dollars to illegal immigrants. And that, says a local attorney, is not unusual.
Do you have a feeling it's widespread?
I would say yes. I would say yes.
And that takes us back to the woman from Central America. Her original 2010 tax return, the one with the fake kids, shows who prepared it. Ruthie Pimentel, Vice President of Pimentel Multiple Services.
My name is Ken Kolker. I'm a reporter from Channel 8.
Her husband, Gene, was company president until he got deported last year. A federal source tells Target 8 he was under investigation for money laundering, manufacturing fake documents, and stealing and cashing treasury checks.
Well, I've talked to somebody who said that the children's names on this document aren't her children, and it's got your name on as the tax preparer. It's got Ruth's name as the tax preparer. Your name right here. And those children don't belong to this woman.
She puts the information that the client brings to them.
So there's nobody that works for you who goes out gathering W-2s from illegal immigrants?
No.
I'm Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker.
The IRS will not comment on any specific investigations, but will continue to push for answers from that agency and West Michigan's congressman asking what they're doing to fight this fraud. More reaction today to a Target 8 investigation into a tax loophole, allowing illegal immigrants to pocket billions in federal child tax credits, sometimes with phony kids. This time, we're hearing from a deported tax preparer who was at the center of our investigation. Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker spoke to him by phone from the Dominican Republic. Ken?
Sue, he was president of Pimentel Multiple Services, a business that prepares income taxes, but last year he was deported to the Dominican. A federal source told Target 8 that Gene Pimentel was under investigation for money laundering, manufacturing fake documents, and stealing and cashing U.S. Treasury checks. But Pimentel denied that.
I never been investigated about tax fraud in the United States, never.
The federal source says Pimentel was living in the U.S. with a green card and trying to become a naturalized citizen when a background check discovered 1992 convictions for weapons and delivery of marijuana.
For 30 gram marijuana, 30 gram. That's for cigarettes, marijuana.
Pimentel says the weapons charge has been cleared up and that he's fighting to return to the U.S.
If I told you that ICE, IRS, and the Secret Service had been investigating you for these fraud allegations, did you not know about that?
No, I don't know about that.
However, the source says it's likely that Pimentel does know, since agents question many of the people who know him. An illegal immigrant told Target 8 that her federal tax return, prepared by Pimentel's company, included a phony name and social security number, which she provided. But it also included the names and social security numbers of 2 children she said she's never heard of. Those names put there, she says, by Pimentel. It was to get her a bigger tax refund. Pimentel denied those allegations.
I heard about another business in division.
But not your business.
Not in my business.
If there are mistakes on a client's tax returns, he said, such as fake names of children, it is not his office's fault.
Or the client bring the information.
So it's the client's fault?
The client bring all the information.
He says he knows of other tax preparers committing fraud.
I know a lot of business.
That do what?
Do that kind of activity.
What do you mean, the fraud sort of thing, the fake names?
The fraud and everything.
Now, he told us he's fighting to return to the U.S. legally, but our source says that likely will not happen. I'm Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker.